Hello, it is me again, your man Rams, the man with the plan. So today, we are heading over to Sowerby Bridge. We are currently in the middle of nowhere. I literally just set this up because I think it's a pretty cool shot. But regardless, so today's mission is we are heading over to Sowerby Bridge and we're checking out the Blind Pig, we're checking out the Turks Head, we're checking out the Puzzle Hall, and we're checking out Sowerby Tap because there is apparently quite an interesting music scene in Sowerby, and to do that we're going to need a special guest. So, we have just got to Puzzle Hall and we are meeting our special guest, our local guide. So, let's go and say hello.
I'm Joe Doogle, to those who know me best. We're in the Puzzle Hall to start with. We're going to go around a few of the Sowerby Bridge music spots. There's no music on tonight.
Because we are on a Thursday.
Until the last one, but I tell you what, there is sometimes music every Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We just picked the wrong day for it. It's one of the oldest music venues in the UK. It's been like a pub for 400 years. It's been a music venue for about 80 to 100 years. It started off as like a niche underground jazz club. Now there's still those jazz elements, but there's also all sorts of music here now every night almost.
For those of you that don't know where Sowerby Bridge is, can you give us more of a location on it?
So we're sort of in between Halifax and Hebden on that Burnley Road way that goes off to Tomberton and all the rest. It's like the first village you get to outside of Halifax. Thriving music scene for such a small place, because it is only small, but you know there's like town-wide festivals. And the Rush Bearing Festival's always got big musical involvement, and all these little tiny sort of hidden gem venues. We'll show you the walk down here later, but it's just in the middle of nowhere, isn't it?
Yeah, literally, but it's beautiful. I'll show some B-roll now of the town. It's really pretty, like all these classic Yorkshire towns that are just sort of in the middle of nowhere. Yeah, so shall we have a look around?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, let's do it.
So this is what is the impromptu stage. Usually you've got the drum kit back there, those tables and chairs aren't there, and then you've got your monitoring for your band, and then your front of house for your front of house people.
Yeah.
As you can see, it's a very small area that people can watch from. Legally, we can fit 80 people in here. It's full. When there's 80 people in here, it's very full. But a good thing about the puzzle is all the gigs are free entry. So there's no buying tickets, there's no reserving tickets. They just, at half time, hand around a hat. And then the band get paid over the bar, and also from whatever the hat makes. We don't take a cut at all of that. So bands get pretty well paid here and well taken care of. Down there is the stage. In the summer can fit about 350 people here. A couple of months, it was probably a year ago now, Chris Martin did a secret set, and he rocked up with a big massive lorry down this thing, and it was like fully blocked off, you couldn't get down it. Just wheeled out this tiny little piano out the back of this lorry.
Literally a piano?
A piano and a guitar. It was their whole touring rig.
Not a keyboard? The touring rig?
It was the whole touring rig, but obviously they don't need the whole touring rig. Basically, his sister lives like around here somewhere, and so he decided that he came down for a pint on the Sunday, and he decided he wanted to do a secret set here. So he made the right contacts and did this secret set, but they just had the big touring van, so they just brought all the stuff and then just rocked the little tiny piano down. At the start, there was like probably 30 people here, and by the end, it was full up to like people were around there.
Sick.
So I'm Sarah, and I've been here actually about 6 months now, so not super long, but yeah.
How would you describe the music scene in Sowerby?
I mean, here it does really well, I think, because we get quite a sort of, I feel like we get quite a good crowd, given that it's like such a small sort of place, really. So there's a very loyal sort of base here, and I think I actually do promoting in other venues as well, so I do actually see a bit of that contrast, and here is quite a good scene. There is some like regular jazz and folk nights and stuff with people like that sort of thing that we do. I think that's worth checking out because it's sort of something that we do like monthly. We've got stuff on the website. You can find out everything that's coming up. There's loads. This is unusual that we don't have something on a Thursday actually. So
I chose quite well.
Yeah. But yeah, there is actually like loads going on. Yeah, definitely come down.
Excellent, thank you so much for your time.
You're welcome.
Yeah, excellent. So yeah, part of this quest is to go and visit venues in places that you don't normally see. because we do need to look after these venues, but we need to make sure that we keep them alive and keep them bustling.
Well, as I'm sure we'll hear from Julie, all the small venues are struggling, and you see it in the big towns and cities like Leeds, Manchester, Sheffield, etc. Like we just saw, was it Leadmill got kicked out?
Leadmill.
But if you lose a big venue in a city, it's sad because it's always sad to lose a venue, but it's not the end of the world.
Yeah.
If you lose a venue in a place like Sowerby Bridge, it's the knock-on effect that it has. So when Blind Pig goes, yeah, sound, Blind Pig, it's gone and that's terrible, but also it's the other businesses. It's your bars that are down the road that would get people coming in for a pre-drink. It's Puzzle for people because both venues operate, like most gigs are free.
Yeah.
So it's venues like Puzzle where you might watch band here and then head up to there. Now people are like, well, I don't really want to see all 3 bands here, so they don't bother coming out. It's your late night kebab shop that's missing out on 30 people coming out after, and it kind of just, one venue going in a place that's only got 2 or 3 can really just kill the whole town.
Venues work together, they coordinate.
That's what's really good about Sowerby. It's what's really bad about Huddersfield. That's a different topic.
That's the next episode.
Yeah, but yeah, we have like Sowerby Festival and Rush Bearing and Mummers and all that. There's like 4 events a year, 4 weekends a year where all the venues have something on. You buy 1 ticket, you go around all the venues and you can do what you want. And venues that aren't music venues like Holland's Mill, which we'll walk past, and Fire and Water and all that, they all get involved even though they don't usually have music events on. They'll just put a music event on for that weekend because they know that people will be out and just, there's a real sense of community here.
That's really good. Because I've been to a lot of towns where it's just everyone just sabotages each other, and I know what you mean by that. So it's quite interesting. So if you get one of the chain breaks, then it affects everyone else.
Yes,
because
and even the people that aren't musically involved. Yes. You got the other pubs that people go into.
Oh yeah, restaurants and stuff. People go out for a meal before see the band.
Or get a kebab after. Yeah, all that. And it also it gives people a reason to discover Sowerby. Like when Chris Martin played here, 300 people arrived. 50 probably travelling from Halifax when they got the message because it's only a 10-minute drive. Yeah. But out of those 50, 30 people probably never even heard of Sowerby Bridge. You might have seen the bus go to it, but it's one of them towns where if you've got no reason to go, you're never going to go.
No, cool. I noticed this about Hebden, it seems very touristy. As I was driving through it just then, it was like loads of like pottery classes.
Well, it was like the hippie town in the 60s. Yeah. All the hippies just squatted a lot of houses because it was all sort of abandoned. Yeah, it was. Everywhere was abandoned. Hippies squatted it, turned into a hippie town. 20 years later, rich people are like, oh, it looks like they're having fun over there. Bought up all the places, kicked all the squatters out and tried to have their own little like hippie place, and it just feels fake now. Yeah. Todmorden now feels like what Hebden did feel like back then, when I wasn't born, from what I've been told. Yeah, I've been told the same as that. It's like Todmorden. I need to go revisit Todmorden because the original plan for that night was we were going to go around loads of places, but we got there and then we met Lou, then we met you guys. That's the only good place in town.
That's not right.
I think.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure there's other places.
Well, music venue wise.
Yeah.
There's loads of little tiny cool bars and stuff, but there isn't.
If you want to go Todmorden, go in the middle of the day and go to they've got a pub in the middle of their market.
Right.
That's pretty cool. But market shuts at 4, so.
Yeah, and then just up the Golden Lion. Yeah.
It's a good place to be stuck.
Yeah, no, it's a good place to be stuck, exactly.
There's other pubs around I've not visited many yet. That was the first time I've been to Todmorden.
Right. Yeah, it's a trek for you, isn't it?
Second time. But yeah, not often. No. First time we've been able to drink legally there.
Where do you play? So when round here, where do you normally go and play?
Huddersfield all the time.
Huddersfield.
I'm closer to Huddersfield where I am. Yeah. Halifax, Grace and Unity, and we're playing at the market soon in October. Yeah. Where else? I mean, Manchester, Stockport.
Manchester, is that not an absolute trek?
Yeah, well, I went to college in Manchester, so my band are from Manchester. Right. So it's a trek for me, but it's easier for them rather than when I'm playing.
Yeah, of course.
And then my favourite city to gig in is Liverpool.
Oh, cool. I know there's a nice girl there called Johnny Shots. Yeah. That everyone just seems to know.
Yeah, we've done a couple of gigs with Johnsy. Yeah. But Jacaranda, we've played it 3 times, and those are top 3 gigs we've ever done.
Jacaranda's amazing. I've been there a few times. It's got a really cool story as well. But that's beyond the scope of this video.
Did the Beatles ever visit Sowerby Bridge? That's the new question.
They visited Darwin.
Oh, well,
that's where I'm from.
It's almost Sowerby Bridge.
Well, anyway, should we start thinking about making a move soon? Yeah. You've got half a pint left yet. You don't have to neck it, don't worry.
Sowerby tank, innit? It's bike locks. They put them in when we did Tour de France because it came right through here.
This isn't France.
It's the Tour de France.
Sowerby, France.
Do you not remember when they did the Tour de France and it came through England?
I don't know.
Oh yeah, in like 2010, because the Tour de France always goes through one country and ends in France.
Yeah.
And it went through here, and it went through like on this street.
And that's the guy doing a wheelie. Oh, he was. Well, there we go.
That's it, brother.
God, he must get a lot of shit. Wish I was that cool. Man's got a Mohican.
Becky, you're used
My name's Becky. I occasionally help Julie out at the Blind Pig and the Turks. I'm also a frequent customer. I've known Julie a long time. And yeah, I've worked in hospitality many years.
Yeah. Did you live in Sowerby?
I do live in Sowerby Bridge.
How long have you been here for?
I've been in Sowerby Bridge now for 4 years. Do you know what? It was few and far between when I first moved over here. But obviously with knowing Julie, Julie's always been into music. And I started going to the Blind Pig and realised that that was the place to go if you wanted to see any type of new music. There are other pubs in Sowerby Bridge that put on great music, especially like just down the road from me, there's the Puzzle, things like that. But you kind of have to know about these places to know where to go and things like that. Julie's just wanting to hand it over to a good pair of hands.
Okay, so it's not going anywhere.
It's not going anywhere as far as we're all aware.
Excellent.
She wants to keep it running. It's just, I think it's time for her she wants to hand the reins over. She runs 2 pubs. It's a full-time job.
Sorry, context by the way. We're here at the Turks Head. We're not actually at the Blind Pig.
Keep mentioning both.
Yeah. So we are at the Turks Head because we're here on a Thursday because we chose a great day to come down to Sowerby Bridge, and so we've come down to Turks Head to talk to everyone instead of the Blind Pig.
I don't really know.
What's the nearest venue to it? Like, obviously you got Puzzle Hall Inn and stuff like that, but like traditional big music venue with a big stage.
Grayston Unity in Halifax.
Grayston Unity. How far away is Halifax?
15-minute drive.
15-minute drive, that's not so bad.
It's not so bad, but it's not convenient if you want to if you live in Sowerby and you want to go see a band and you don't want to worry about getting a taxi home or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. Yeah, I can't really think of any other major place, especially when you know music's going to be on every weekend, you know, so you always know the lineup of like what's going on at the Blind Pig. There's always like a poster out saying who's on which week each month.
And the best thing about Sowerby Bridge is all the pubs that put music on, they're usually free or very cheap.
Yeah.
So
that's another thing I've noticed talking. That's another thing talking to you and a few other people that we've talked to already is there's like everything seems to be free entry. Yeah. Everything in Sowerby, there's not very rarely anything ticketed.
People get put off by having to pay money. Yeah. Especially if they've not heard the band before.
Yeah.
So generally, like at the Blind Pig, it's very rare that it's ticketed unless they know that it's going to get packed out because there's only a certain capacity that you can take upstairs, or I think if the band ask, the band say, you know, we want it to be ticketed, but generally most of the time she puts it on for free. She pays the bands herself. You know, it's all she puts people out there, you know, like young bands that maybe haven't been heard and need a chance. She'll put them on, and it's just nice. It's just nice the way that she does it.
I was going to say, not only are all the places free, you kind of touched on it there, everyone gets well paid. The bands are always taken care of. Both venues now will put people up if they're travelling in from different countries.
Gosh, Julie's put up so many bands,
She'll let them stay for a night. Puzzle are the same, now the manager's not living on site, you can stay in the room if needs
really nice.
be.
I didn't know that.
So yeah, there's always, like, the bands are always well taken care of, even though, like, you think, you know, if you think of your average pub band that are playing for free, they're just playing for a couple of pints and then they're going home. Whereas in Sowerby, they're always well taken care of, no matter how much the tickets are.
Yeah, that's really cool because I still, while my neck of the woods and some places like that, like pay to play still exists. Yeah. Which is mental. That's the whole thing.
Strangely, I don't know if this is off topic, but do you remember last year when a certain celebrity ended up at the Puzzle Hall? How, like, that's also something crazy that happens sometimes. Yeah. So like people hear about this.
I work at the Puzzle, so I know all about that.
Ah, yeah, okay. So
we've just been talking about it.
Yeah. I was actually working a shift here when it happened, so.
Oh, sorry.
So his sister just lives like right by my house. So he was staying there on his way to the Hull gig, and so he was drinking in the puzzle on the Sunday, and then decided that he just wanted to go and do a secret set.
I see.
And little insider topic, I essentially told him to F off. But I didn't know it was him.
You didn't know it was him?
Who do you think you are?
Right, essentially, so his agent got in touch asking if they could book the puzzle for Friday, and just said that they'd pay the band's fee that was supposed to be playing on the Friday if they could have it. And I was like, well, it's a local band. They're doing their album release gig. It's been booked in for months.
Was it Brigantes?
No, it was a band called Mood Organ.
Oh.
So I'd had them booked in for months. So I was like, they're doing their album release. I don't really want to cancel it 3 days before.
Yeah.
I don't really care if you've got SJM. You're saying it's a secret set. Well, if it's that, it could be
SJM,
anyone.
biggest touring company.
Yeah, but
in the UK.
a secret set could be anyone. It could be some indie band with 20,000 followers. I was like, nah. So they were like, fair enough. We'll take the Thursday, and I didn't have any problems with that. And then,
Yo!
and then
That's wild.
And then they rocked up, and it's like, oh, just that's Chris Martin. It's like,
Don't really like Coldplay. Anyway.
yeah, it's like giving 2 fingers to Noel Gallagher, isn't it?
But yeah, sorry to go off topic.
And then-
it's really interesting, isn't it?
For all the puzzle staff that weren't there on the night, he gave them free tickets to the gig and all. So
Did you get free ticket?
I'm not technically employed by the puzzle. I'm employed by an exterior company.
Oh.
And I'm not. I wouldn't have gone. I'm not that bothered
I
about
just
it.
snatched that ticket out of somebody's hands.
yeah.
You could have sold it.
That's really bad, isn't it? Tell him to F off and then, cheers for your tickets.
How rock and roll are you, Joe?
That's like
More rock and roll than Coldplay.
You can use that as a thing I told Chris
Oh,
Martin
when
to
I'm
F
when I'm
off.
on Would I Lie to You in 20 years?
Yeah. yeah.
Anyway, even though we're still on the topic of Sowerby,
I think obviously the Turks head is a little bit smaller, so generally there's a lot more acoustics acts on here, things like that. But they do have the certain nights where they've got DJs on, and it's honestly all a different range of ages, genres of music. I wouldn't be able to tell you
fair enough.
a specific one.
Okay, so just on the final bits of question, how would you describe the nightlife around here? So, is it a regular drinking nightlife sort of thing? People just go out whenever and just do that sort of thing, or are people kind of more picky about it?
No, I actually, so like I say, I've only been in Sowerby Bridge for around 4 years. And I actually believe that less people go out in town because there's not as much going on as there used to be.
Right.
Whereas a lot of people will come from the town centre to Sowerby Bridge because they know there's music on, they know that there's a lot of different types of pubs, there's good beer gardens, for instance. So I find that more people are out in Sowerby Bridge than town lately, I believe.
By town,
anyway.
you mean
Halifax,
right?
yeah,
okay.
sorry.
Yeah, sorry, that's just which town?
Yeah, people just don't see.
Are we in Sowerby Bridge?
Maybe it's my circles of friends, but
I agree.
yeah, it's a lot of a younger crowd in Halifax now.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's a better question. So I'll pass you back in a second. I'll go. So what's the relationship to Sowerby Bridge and Halifax, music-wise? Is it do people consider that town so everyone goes out in Halifax? Or is it, as you just described, more people coming to Sowerby Bridge now because there's more going on?
I think it depends what's going on. The Blind Pig is actually probably more well known for having a lot of heavier bands on. It doesn't mean that that's all they do. There's been all sorts of different types of music, but I don't really think there's anything specific in Halifax anymore that has that you guys will probably be too young to remember this, but I'm 38-year-old and I used to work at a bar in town called Bar 15, and it was down some stairs, and that was one of very few. There was about 3 rock bars in Halifax at the time. Cool. They've all shut down.
One just reopened though. Not
really?
one that's shut down that's reopened, but a new rockers bar has opened up.
Ah, that's interesting to know. But there's not many places for alternative people to go in the area, I would say.
Okay.
So I think a lot of people pick the Blind Pig as well when they see things like, a cover band on for Metallic-ish or something like that. It draws a big crowd in because you don't.
Nowhere else for it.
Well, there's nowhere else for it now, unless there's something on maybe at the Peace Hall, but I feel like the Peace Hall is taking a lot from the local.
Where is that?
It's this big outdoor space in Halifax. It was an old cloth mill, cloth trades place. It's got these markets around the side. It's very Hebden Bridge,
Right.
and about 5 years ago they started doing like big gigs, so like Limp Bizkit level. That's who I saw there. I saw Supergrass there last year.
That's really cool.
I saw
big-
Korn, I've seen
Yeah,
Jungle,
yeah.
I've seen all sorts of music there.
Cool.
Yeah, there's loads of good
but
stuff.
it does take away from the local scene. Like when I'm working, there'll be 3 hours where we're dead because people are at the gig. Like, it's 7,000 capacity.
We're like that in. Sorry. We have the same problem in Darwin when warehouse projects are, because we're literally it's the same train line to Manchester in Darwin. It's literally a 20-minute train ride to Manchester.
Yeah.
Whenever warehouse project on, Darwin's dead.
Yeah.
So like October's terrible in Darwin every time.
Yeah, it's
But
a shame.
anyway,
I was just going to say one.
yeah. Go on.
Just on the difference between Halifax and Sowerby Bridge, I feel like what's really important to me in Sowerby is the sense of community and the festivals.
Oh,
We've already
yeah.
touched on it a little bit. And recently, Halifax have started to get there. Like, I don't know if you saw the Goth Festival.
Yes, I did, yeah.
And they do the Town Festival as well. But I feel like that's... We did Halifax Goth Festival every February. Last year we had Chameleons playing the church. It's cool, man. But like that's
Putting that in the diary. I'm coming back for that.
that's the thing.
Definitely like an interesting one, yeah.
But that's the thing that Sowerby's had for like ages. Have the festivals always been going since you've been here?
Since I've been here, I would say so. There's literally, like I said, there's always something on. Like you know that there's something going on. I can walk out of my door, walk 10 minutes on the road, and go, there's definitely going to be something on somewhere. Especially music-wise, I'm very into music, all different genres of music as well.
It was more the working together of the venues.
Oh,
and they're
right,
all
yeah.
very tight knit.
Oh, gosh, yeah.
So
I mean,
that's what I mean. Like
Sowerby
here's
Bridge
the
Festival.
festivals where and the Rush Bearing and all that. It's all up and down. Whereas Halifax until recently it was just like there are nights here, there are nights there, there are nights
Yeah.
there. And now recently it's the whole town's working together.
Yes.
But that's the thing that Sowerby I think's had for a while.
Oh yeah, definitely. Everyone wants to help each other. Like the pubs are not all kind of like on their own, out for themselves. Like everybody will give each other a helping hand. I've known it where like a certain bar's had to shut for whatever reasons on the evening, and another bar has taken on their band for the evening.
Yeah.
So
Really cool.
yeah.
Yeah, but thank you very much for your time, and thank you for telling us all about the Blind Pig and the Turks Head and the rest of Sowerby.
Thank you. Please don't make me look bad.
Man's finger in the Sowerby Taps Hall.
Yo, they're starting. I can hear it. So this has got like a cult following apparently. I've never been, but it's supposed to be.
Our guide, by the way.
Yeah, so my name's Bailey and I've just begun a new project with my mate. We're going around open mics at the minute and we've decided to take on the name Bailey in Particular, which we are literally just started.
Nice.
We're going to be setting up socials soon and yeah, so we've been going around open mics for a few months now and we've started properly picking it up and that's why we've decided to start a project. We've met so many people that are so friendly. All the different promoters of the open mics, they're just perfect and they've got so much great advice as well on how to start projects and where to go next with them, and even like available slots at local pubs, gigs and
Yeah. So that's transitioning from open mics to actual just gigs now. Excellent.
yeah, exactly. So we're quite happy with where we're playing. So in Sowerby, we've been around, we've played at the Boar's Head. I'm friends with a lot of people that go up to the Puzzle, and then here as well at Sowerby Taps. I'm Blind Pig, yeah.
Cool.
So yeah.
Yeah, excellent. So open mics have basically been a way of you transitioning and getting. How long have you been playing for?
Oh, I've been playing drums since I was 4.
Wow.
Had a kit in my basement and then picked up guitar in primary school.
Nice.
So yeah, quite a while.
Sick. So you've been able to transition now and take your skill and play it in a band, and now you're going to take those projects and hopefully do something else with it.
Yeah,
That's
definitely.
That's really
yeah.
cool. Because I feel like from the conversations we've been having tonight, the music scene in sort of like Halifax and Sowerby Bridge kind of bleed into each other.
I think they work really well with each other, but I think from what I've experienced as well, it also expands past that into Huddersfield.
Yeah.
And then I guess once you break through them, there's nothing stopping you from making friends that might be in Huddersfield, but also go out into Leeds and Manchester as well. So it's like the perfect area to really get into the scene and then open up avenues to work your way up to massive venues and properly expand.
That's really cool.
What you do quite like alternative stuff, don't you? So
Yeah.
how have you found that goes down compared to like, I mean, especially there's a lot of open mics that you go up and it's like you got Dave, he's 50, he's been playing guitar since he was 14, and he's going to play you 3 Oasis covers. So how have you found that you fit in with that crowd being quite different?
Well, we've managed to shift a lot of the music from that into acoustic to fit the open mic format much better, which has just meant it's a little bit more digestible for people who aren't particularly into the more heavy music but can still appreciate the musicality behind it all, which is actually really nice, because then it's kind of exploring new boundaries for them, I guess, and opening up more avenues that they can start listening to. But we have also surprised an open mic with a full black metal get up and a three song set, which did have a few surprised faces.
Would you say that there are certain places that are more accommodating to that sort of heavier side?
Honestly, I think
Sorry, I almost fell off. Carry on.
everyone's so appreciative of music
Yeah.
and the different backgrounds of it, and I think really the communities that are being built up at these open mics are just passionate about music, and if you can't be passionate about all music, then what's the point? You know, everyone's here to have fun and ultimately make some noise. So
Well, it's like Puzzle have a really big like jazz following, but weirdly also metal really works there because there's sort of a crossover in terms of like metal's just jazz with distortion.
Yeah.
And I feel like Sowerby is really accommodating of the heavier stuff. Like Blind Pig, as much as they have everything and anything, it sort of became like a bit of a metal hotspot of the West Yorkshire region, really.
Yeah, definitely, and you can definitely tell that, because like I say, when we play even our heavier music, it is really well received, even though the people that are listening to it might not be frequent listeners of that kind of music, and everyone's been so nice and supportive, positive, and it's been really, really like perfect to build us up and get us going. Well, at the minute, like I say, we're not quite set up yet, but we'll be on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok under Bailey in particular pretty soon.
Commonly found at the Northern Quarter Open Mic.
Commonly found at the Northern Quarter Open Mic, but
Less commonly, but still found at the Sowerby Taps.
yeah.
For tonight only.
no, we go around quite a lot, so yeah, we like to move about.
Excellent. Thank you so much. All right, so we are back at the old Puzzle Hall Inn.
Indeed.
Indeed, and I think that pretty much wraps up our day. So there's a lot of common themes tonight.
We've sort of established that there's a very strong link between here and Halifax and Huddersfield, which you would expect because we're sort of like bang in the middle. But also, this seems like a place where people with the more alternative themes can fit in and not feel like they have to conform to the sort of indie shite, for lack of a better term, that those bigger towns will offer.
So what you're saying is those bigger towns, because like those genres of music like indie are so overturned, and I imagine there's a lot of tribute and cover stuff happening over those there as well. When people are kind of bored of that sort of stuff, they're like, well, we'll nip to Sowerby and see something more artistic.
For sure.
Right.
I mean,
so that's the kind of niche that Sowerby feels, where it feels more artisanal, more artistic.
There's something for everyone.
Yeah.
I think Halifax and Huddersfield are great, but they're very much a town where to survive you've got to be a business that makes money.
Yeah.
And there are the odd ones, Grace and Unity in Halifax, Parish and Northern Quarter in Huddersfield, who've sort of got that you can do what you want vibe, but in Sowerby everywhere's like that.
Yeah.
Over there you get a lot of, I mean, Peace Hall speaks volumes. Huddersfield have a stadium where they have like Little Mix. You're not going to come here. You might get Chris Martin. You're not going to get Little Mix.
Yeah, cool.
You can do whatever you want here, and someone will like it.
Yeah. Another theme we talked to quite a few people is that like pushing for the grassroots music and trying to platform up and coming bands.
Yeah.
And making sure there's space for them to come up.
For sure.
That was quite nice to see that passion's still there. And that there's this sort of camaraderie that everyone works together.
For sure.
You know, there isn't
A really strong sense of community.
Yeah, a really strong community. So that it's like people aren't getting jealous of each other. People aren't like, you know, like getting pissed off with each other and stuff like that. It's not like, okay, we're doing this, so what are you guys up to? Okay, well we'll work that around this and we'll work that around that. And I think it does. I think it's helped the music community. I mean, like, talk us through like there's a lot of festivals in Sowerby, isn't there?
So there's Sowerby Bridge Fest, which is just a generic music festival. There's Rush Bearing, which is like the religious thing, but it just turns into a massive party. And then around Christmas, there's the Mummers, which are like Morris dancers.
Yeah.
There's Halloween stuff, there's Easter stuff, there's Christmas stuff. Those are like your main three.
It's a goth festival.
That's in Halifax.
Oh, it's in Halifax. Right.
It's really cool though.
I've got to come.
Sick.
We've got to come back for that.
I think that was it. Just the sense of community, the championing grassroots music, and the fact that probably everyone's feeling a pinch.
Yeah.
Like, we spoke to Sowerby Taps and they said that it was the quietest jam night they've had in 6 weeks.
Yeah.
Blind Pig is obviously, it's not shutting down, but it's struggling.
It's changing hands.
Yeah. Puzzle. I don't think Puzzle's going anywhere. It's not moved for 400 years. It's not going anywhere.
I know
yet.
Puzzle. To me, it has its vibe. It's got its regulars, and its regulars are going to keep it propped up till the end of time.
But I think everywhere's feeling that pinch of sort of people aren't coming out as much as they used to 3 or 4 years ago.
I think I see this a lot from a lot of music venues. That this is probably a recurring theme in this series. But with music venues, there's a lack of consistency that I see quite a lot. They either open just Friday, Saturday, with different genres on all the time and stuff like that, and then people don't know what they're in for if they go in. So I think that a lot of music venues struggle, and the venues that I see do well have different vertical revenues. So they'll like do food during the day. They'll be open 5 days a week, but they'll do food and they'll have really good beers and product in.
But at the end of the day, it shouldn't be about that. Music venues should be there for the music.
For the music,
and they shouldn't be. You know, it's a similar thing for artists. Like a music artist now is expected to be a writer, a performer, someone that can do quality social media content, someone that's PR trained. Yeah, and that's not what it should
just be about the music.
So it's the same for venues. So venues can stay open by, I'm sure if Blind Pig did food 5 days a week, then they'd stay open, but then they'd lose that audience that comes for the music.
True.
So I think the fact is that if you are a person that's into music, you should go out to your local venue.
Because you've seen this with nightclubs. Well, I've seen this nightclubs, and there's like up and down the country as well. Basically, like they've just turned into where you get drunk now.
Yeah.
The nightclubs have really become not about the music for years now, and I think it is artistic with dance music and all that stuff. There is artistry to it and all that sort of stuff, but it's a lot more obvious with bands. So I think it's easier to do that connection.
And I think Sowerby has shown that the integrity of what they stand for is more important than making money.
Yeah.
I think there's a nice
definitely.
in that.
So what's the takeaway we can get from our investigation today?
Go to a gig. Find your nearest music venue, support them. Go once a month. If you're one of those people that go to a big gig once a year, it costs you $5 to get in for most of these places. Here it's all free. Yeah. Buy a pint, support the local
You buy
bands.
more pints now. Tickets. Yeah.
Even if you don't like the bands, just like there's a massive outdoor area here. Go in, show your face, buy a pint. There you are.
Because one day there will be a band that you do like, you want to go to, and because you weren't there the other week, like you might not be able to run. So.
And you know the band that you see playing here might be playing arenas the next week, like Chris Martin.
Yep, that's the one.
You might accidentally bump into Chris Martin. That's the takeaway.
That's the takeaway.
You might see Chris Martin.
But anyway, so that's about us. Do you want to shout out and tell people where they can find you?
Doogle Music, Doogle Music. Doogle.live. That's this website. Doogle full stop on Spotify, etc.
Excellent. Yeah, all this will be in the descriptions and all this stuff. Make sure you follow this man, like and subscribe to us as well. And thank you so much. We'll see you in the next adventure.
Cheers.